So I started my early years in June '99 in the heat of Vijay, that is the Kargil war. We all were commissioned when the war was at its peak, and we were asked to report to our units. It was the first week of July, wherein the war was at its peak. So talking about specifically Kargil, I would say it's one of the glorious victories for the Indian Army. I have had the rare privilege of seeing those peaks while being posted in Leh, where this war was fought. So it's believe you me, it's unimaginable in the kind of inhospitable terrain. मतलब कितनी मुश्किलों के साथ उन्होंने वो ऑपरेशंस को अंजाम दिया होगा, जहाँ पे कि उन हाइट्स में सांस लेना, 10 कदम चलना मुश्किल रहता है. उन्होंने उन चढ़ाई पे चढ़ के गोलियां आती हुई, पत्थर आते हुए, बोल्डर्स आते हुए अपने पे उस चीज़ को अंजाम दिया is something which is remarkable, and for saving our country, its integrity and its land in that inhospitable terrain and against all odds. So it's a major victory, and it needs to be celebrated in that particular way. I was the first one in my family to be joining the army, and came in with an absolute fresh mind, very limited expectations, but then I had support from my family, friends, and I come from a very middle class family. My parents were bankers, and I ever thought initially that I would join the force. Of course, one definitely had a desire to serve the country, but then I was always inclined towards more of technology and everything, and wanted to do my engineering. So I do conspicuously remember having a real long conversation with my dad, who kind of put me wise and educated enough to tell me that this is one of the most noble professions you could join. From say a boy to a man, and the famous line in India also, which we call it, that India turns boys to men. It really puts us or instills that feeling of camaraderie, of discipline, of being punctual, of being in the right place at the right time, and turned out nicely. I think it's one of the most memorable days one can ever have in his life. You're starting your career as a young lieutenant. Journey मेरी भी वैसी थी जैसी normal army में रहती है, and it gives you a lot of satisfaction managing a team. If your team is happy, that gives you further more satisfaction that yes, I am leading a team which is highly efficient, satisfied, enjoying themselves, and at the same time we are also doing our tasks. Your seniors always were there to hold you. So another real ethos of the Indian Army. कोई भी काम करना हो आपको, उसको पहले आप खुद करिए, फिर आप एक्सपेक्ट करिए कि मेरे नीचे वाला वो काम करेगा. तो वही एग्जाम्पल हमने फॉलो किया राइट फ्रॉम यंगस्टर डेज, जहाँ पे कि अगर रस्सा चढ़ना था तो पहले अगर आप उम्मीद कर रहे हैं आपके जवान बीपीटी दौड़ के रस्सा करें, तो आप खुद रस्सा करके उनको दिखाएंगे कि मैं भी इतना थका हुआ था लेकिन मैंने फिर भी किया. तभी आप उनसे भी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि देखिए मैंने किया तो आपको भी करना ज़रूरी है, और ये एक मैंडेटेड चीज़ है या ये एक टेस्ट का पार्ट है. सब्सिक्वेंटली एज यू ग्रो इन एज एंड योर एक्सपीरियंस and you attain those leadership positions, then it becomes more of mentoring and kind of I would say keeping your team binded together. So that could necessarily be being there with them all the time, hand holding them in difficult situations, guiding them through various situations through your rich experience. Ethos in the army is far greater than what you expect in the civil world, because what you are entrusted with is human life. So your men really look up to you when you lead them, right? And similarly you are expected to look after their welfare all the time, so that when it is desired they match up to or they actually kind of have that faith and confidence in the leader that they are following, right? So it's really important. I feel the expectation either side is really to be built up, and it takes it doesn't come overnight. It takes years and years of trust to be built up, to be maybe saying and telling साहब मैं आपके आगे जाऊँगा, आप पीछे रहो क्योंकि आप लीडर हो, तो पहला खतरा मेरे ऊपर है, फिर हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. So those kind of situations you really face in combat, and I feel this is what is really different about Indian Army, and this is what binds us together, and that was visible both in Kargil and even otherwise in normal operations as well, that a fellow soldier or anybody for that matter of your team cannot be left behind. So that ethos always remains. Coming to a particular situation, so I must share, I have myself been a battle casualty wherein I was shot in an ambush, and I remember that situation wherein we were coming back from a coordinate search operation, and suddenly we were opened fire upon by some two militants, and these guys in the bargain I got injured and another officer got injured, but the entire team that we had, all of them stood by us, and they ensured that we come out of that area. We were evacuated immediately to the base, and within hours I was operated upon, and I was back healing well. Something which is the DNA of the Indian Army, which clearly defines us apart from other armies in the world. Army life में every 2.5 years you tend to shift locations, as in you get posted to a new location. So that comes with its challenges, inherent challenges. Of course, it is a major transition for your family and especially the kids. So for them, this transition is slightly tough. Also for your wife and your parents as well. So this is something which they get used to. Many a time this becomes a boom for them, because then that helps them interact socially very easily, and also make new friends at new locations, see new places. So that increases their general knowledge and adaptability with their peers. So it is very important first for you to unlearn whatever you've learned there. We have NCC training, we have NSS training, we have other via medias to instill in discipline within the society. I think even Agniveer for that matter as a scheme will be extremely beneficial, because these are 3-4 traits or facets which come in very naturally to any service personnel, any rank for that matter, and this is something which is going to change the entire social culture or the fabric in the society. I miss the green areas, the roads, the empty roads, the overall feel and the smell of the camps, which of course I many a times cross over and get my fair share even till date, but I definitely miss those. And of course the camaraderie and the friendships, the close-knit environment you are in, the late night get-togethers, the parties is something which is really something which is still missed. I think as I undertook certain leadership roles, I feel I developed a trait which was just, I would call it empathy. So that is what I feel I still carry it, and would maybe love my children and people around me to carry it, because I think especially the current times, I think with the short-temperedness or with the the limited time we have available with each other, empathy is something, a trait which a lot of us need to imbibe, and at the same time one has to be humble. That's what I feel, and this is another trait which I'm working on right now. Without an iota of doubt, I would love them to maybe wear the uniform and give a salute back to me on the day of their commissioning. I think but I think what I previously mentioned about, I think more importantly are the personality traits which I feel as a Fauji, one generally is imbibed with. So those definitely need to get passed down to the next generation, and if they can catch on to those, I would be indeed a very happy dad if they catch up to them as early as possible. My message basically to any aspirant who is planning to join the armed forces is, first of all, prepare yourself. It's not like a usual job. It's calls for a lot of commitment. It calls for a lot of preparation. It calls for a lot of mental conditioning, if I may call it, to serve your country while you're away from your family. You are in far-flung areas. You're facing the extremities of weather, temperature, etc. So prepare yourself mentally for that. Imbibing such skills, such traits, such ethos in me, which make me stand tall today. And where I am, I feel I completely am and will remain indebted to the Indian Army for this. Thank you and Jai Hind.